Welcome back to the 2026 edition of the Grand Chess Tour, where every move could mean the difference between first place and total defeat in the whole tournament. Today we'll be discussing some of the most intense games of players like Fabian Caruana, Vincent Keimer, Javahir Sandarov, and others in the tournament. Hope you all enjoy. Make sure to subscribe, and let's jump into the video. So for moving on, I might be doing something different where I'll be having the video straight from chess.com. So I hope you guys enjoy that. That way you can see the feedback and everything. And here we go. So our first game is between Vincent Keimer and Bogdan Daniel Deoc from Germany and Romania, respectively. Here, Vincent goes knight to f3, and this was in round number 2, I believe. So we'll be skipping around, just focusing on the leaders of the tournament. So right now, Vincent is leading the tournament right now, and we'll be going over some of the games by leaders. Knight to f3, we have d5, b3, bishop to f5, bishop to b2, e6, and Vincent goes for this Nimzowitsch-Larsen kind of ready hybrid kind of opening. The Nimzo-Larsen would be this b3, bishop b2, and the ready opening would be the knight to f3, g3, bishop g2. Now we have both castles and bishop to h7. Vincent here plays a very not common, but very, it could be common, very principled move, which is basically just bringing in the rook here, maybe in the future threatening the move e4 and a potential pawn storm, and that could be a possible idea. Black here plays knight to c6. We have a3 now, a5, discouraging white from playing the move b4 and attacking the bishop. Now here instead we have white playing the move d4, threatening the bishop. Bishop goes back there, and also what's nice, you also have the evaluation here. So see, it's plus 0.2. White always gets some amount of evaluation advantage out of the opening because they go first and everything. c4, we have knight back to b8, knight to b1. So these players playing some interesting kind of revolutionary moves here. I've never seen these before, but that's why they're the players they are, and I'm the player I am. Knight bd7 now, so both this knight the black knight reroutes, and now white knights are probably rerouting as well. Now we have c6. So far, both players are playing very normal. You don't see any question marks or anything. You don't even see question marks or anything like that until like the 40th move. This game goes on for 50 moves. So far, we're on move 14. Knight to c3, and now we have rook to e8, e4 now, so we have that pawn storm, we have the pawn break in the middle. D takes e4, knight takes d4, e4. Now we have queen to b6. Now it's plus 0.4, so clearly black is a little bit less favored than they were before. Now we have rook to e3, and the evaluation goes on a little bit, but that's just because it's kind of a dubious looking move, I guess. Rook a d8, queen to e2, and we have this trade here of minor pieces, trade. Black offers this trade, we do not accept, and notice here, white has a very easy time of bringing the rook to the middle of the board, and here, not there, sorry. I'm getting used to drawing arrows on chess.com because normally I use my chess analysis thing, but here it's like this, and very easy to bring the rook here. The rooks will be connected very nicely, and this bishop has nice vision here. The pawn, the king is fine there, but you can bring the pawns, whatever, and then eventually maybe you can have an outside pass pawn or whatever. So now let's see what happens. Queen to c7, knight to f3. Okay. Knight to f3, knight to g4 now, so the rook's got to move. Rook goes to d3, which is fine, it's whatever. Now it's plus 0.1 though. Knight to f6, and we have a little bit of shuffling, so maybe black didn't get exactly what they wanted, but we'll see. We have this rook going back to a8. We have a trade of pawns. Now we have rook to b8 teaming up to make a battery here, attacking the bishop. Very easy to defend though. Now we have this move. And the knight reroutes yet again to d3. Queen to f3. h4 now we have a pawn push. The knight goes back to f4. And black just doing some interesting things here, I must say. So we have our first question mark here by black. The idea here is after this move g6, which was kind of a bad move. Now we have the move knight to g3. And now we have h5. take. So clearly black is not doing well here after this move. The reason for that is not only do you open the king up very much, and that's bad in itself, but also white doesn't necessarily even have to take right away. They can just bring the queen and bring the pieces in right away, and maybe bring the knight in this way, possibly bring it in like it was before. You can attack here. You can bring the queen here possibly, but you got to be careful over here because all these pieces over here and everything. Now we have rook takes, rook, pawn takes, and rook here. So we're gonna take that pawn eventually. We have this move now, and now we have d5, pawn sacrifice technically, but now it's still plus 1.2, just because black's position is definitely not favored over white's. Black makes another mistake, and at this point, actually, even though black is playing at 89, almost 90% accuracy, white is playing at 97, so it's not close. Queen to f5 is a great move. The reason for that is you are probably eventually threatening some kind of checkmate somewhere, but also you're attacking the knight there. You can maybe the idea here. So the top lines are queen c8 and then rook to f3. So yeah, they want you to bring, the engine wants this, and then after rook f3 they want rook f8 and then rook to e3. Okay, let's keep going. Queen to c8. Now we have the best move here technically. And okay, and here this is where black resigned, and the reason is you can't take here because you have this move, I believe. Yes, and that is checkmate, and no one wants that. You have this bishop sniping down the corner, and that's not good. Yeah. Now if black were not to take, if they were to take, you would get mate in 1. If they were not to take, the best move is bishop to f6, and then after that you take, and you're just deadlocked. Queen to e8 after this, and then you'd have rook takes h6, and yeah, it's just the same thing. So yeah, Vincent gets a nice win here in the second round, I believe. Yes, second round over Mr. Deoc, and that is the first game we're going to be covering. Let's go on to the next game of our top performing players in the tournament. All right, I'm very excited for game number 2, not only because it's between these two guys, Jordan Van Forest and Bogdan Danil Deoc, again, featured for the second time, even though he's not doing great in the tournament right now. This is in round number 2 or 3, I forget, because right now it's 2 out of 3 it shows, so I'm guessing it's probably the second round. Anyway, this game is fun for a few reasons. Not only because it's these two guys, which are, they're fun to watch these games, but also because there are, I believe, 5 brilliant moves in this game. All right? And they're both from the same player. This is going to be fun. Here we go. C4. Deoc is playing with white pieces. E5, reverse Sicilian.
Nice.
G3. Take. Knight comes out, bishop comes out to G2. Queen to E3 check. Queens are not traded, so we have this. We don't want this family fork. That wouldn't be good. But knight to C2, that would not be fun. So we have this. Castles. And now we have C6 and D6.
What?
Now the knight gets kicked away. And we have knight to E5. Knight takes, pawn takes, and now B4. So white lashing out quickly. Pawns are extended that way. This move is interesting to kick out the bishop. Bishop goes back to E6. Bishop to E3. Rook to B2. Okay. And here we have a first, feedback move, which is knight to E6, which is a good move. Pawn takes. Knight to E2. Rook to D8. Now we have this move here. The knight is going around there a little bit, but, still not being totally threatened. And now we have a trade of pawns. The king moves just to make sure that it's not in the way of any kind of attack there with the pawn or whatever. Now we have knight to G3, which is interesting. So far, white is maintaining a pretty good advantage. not advantage technically because it's just whatever out of the opening. It's not the opening because it's 30-second move, but they are not losing, I should say. But the interesting thing here, if you have noticed, is that after 32 moves, black has 22 minutes, white has 1 minute. Okay, so clearly something's going on. Something's maybe in the water for black. I don't know. Maybe they're drinking something that makes them go really fast or slow or whatever. But 32 moves, you'd think that, I don't know, it's kind of an interesting. I don't even know how long these guys might take a really long time. I mean, for some of these moves, they're thinking 3 minutes, 4 minutes. For some of them, yeah, I mean, 7 minutes is some of the longest. 9 minutes, 34 seconds, 20. Okay, so white took 26 minutes to play this move A3, and then white also took 17 minutes. They played this move Rook to D1 in 18 minutes. Black took 15 minutes to play this move, so they're spending a few minutes, right? Where are we? We are right here. Okay, so we've got queen to E2. We've got rook to D3. All right? Okay. Yeah, so bishop to E3. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm just... If you go here, what do they want? E takes D4, and then E5, and then queen takes E5. Anyway, I don't know what happened there. But anyway, sorry about that. Rook to D4. So you don't want to take with the bishop, obviously. So now we have bishop to E3. It's not good. Now we have our first brilliant move by black, which is bishop to F6. Okay? King to F2 was a miss. Clearly, instead of that, they wanted king to H1, or bishop takes D4, or bishop to F2. So it looks like bishop takes D4 is the best out of those, even though it's not the greatest. Okay? But king to F2 was a miss. Now we have bishop to C4, which is another great move. Queen to H5, just getting the queen out of danger. Queen to G7 is another brilliant move. That's brilliant move number 2. Queen to H2. Knight takes E4 is brilliant move number 3 in almost as many moves. Bishop takes. Now we have rook takes is brilliant move number 4. Rook to B7. Queen takes. Knight takes rook. Queen. And we've got this. Check. Rook comes back. We have like a little bit of a repetition. You don't want a repetition, especially if you're black, because you're winning so much, you know? Now we have knight takes. Queen to A1 is a great move. It's dead lost here for white. It's minus 3.2. Bishop to D5 is a great move. Now I've got this. You're getting a lot of checks here, but you know, one side's winning, and it's definitely not white, I'll tell you that. And here we have brilliant move number 5. There were 5 brilliant moves in the game. This is the final one. And the reason it's this brilliant move is because there's rook takes this, takes. You can pick up the queen. You can easily, you know, go pin this, and you're gonna win it. Either that, or if the knight comes here, you can take here. It's not even a question of who's winning here, right? So that was game number 2 between Jordan Van Foreest and Bogdan Daniel Deak. Next, we'll take a look at some of the other prospects for the top positions, so stay tuned for that. Game number 3 is between Anish Giri from the Netherlands and Alireza Firouzja from France. Here we go. These guys are rated 2767 and 2759 respectively. At the time of recording this, and when I was playing that, when I picked this game, Anish was at 2 out of 3, and Alireza was a half out of 3. So he's not having a great tournament here. We have D4, knight to F6, C4, G6, knight to C3. So far, I'm basically Anish Giri because I play the exact same thing. So you can just call me Anish Giri 2.0. Bishop to G7, we still play the exact same thing. I played literally almost the exact same thing every time I played Blitz or anything when I played D4. I almost play the exact same thing. Bishop to E2, knight to F3. So far, I'm pretty much Anish Giri, and it's plus 0.5, so I mean, I probably could beat Alireza Firouzja with this at some point if I ever played him. We have now e5 castles. Queen to d2, or queen to c2, my bad. Queen to c2 is a very natural move, very natural move, just adding more defense for this. Along with that knight, obviously, you can bring the bishop out, blah, blah, blah. Not there, probably. Probably wouldn't be the best. I mean, although if you had had an idea. E takes d4, knight takes, and now we have knight to c6, e3, and we've got this. Okay. Now, yeah, some of you might be thinking, oh, it's just a blunder, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not, because you've got this. Check here. You take with the knight, because otherwise you have a bad position if you don't want to take it with a knight. So there you go. Rook to e8, very natural move. Knight back to c3. Bishop is offering to be traded by white. Black refuses, and as a result, the evaluation goes up to plus 0.1. Or sorry, not plus 0.1, plus 1. Like 1 point, not 0.1. So far, white is playing 95.7% accuracy. Black is playing 93.2. After this move, we got queen to f4. Now we've got this move. White takes en passant. B takes c6. Now we have bishop to f6. Queen moves. Obviously, you don't want to really take the queen. Rook to d1 attacking. Okay, now we have our first mistake played by black, and the evaluation immediately shoots up to plus 1.4. And the reason for that is now you have this move, bishop to c3. Queen's got to move. Now we have another great move by white, which is knight to f4. We have to take. Go here. We offer a trade. Now we take back. And now we are winning because we are up in exchange. And this isn't a mistake. Unfortunately, Anish did make a mistake here and played the move f4, which loses about one whole, I don't know what to call this, 1 full point of evaluation in his favor. Now we have b3, and the evaluation is still staying steady at around plus 0.7, plus 0.6. Now we have e5, takes, and here we have a brilliant move.
Nice.
All right. And the reason it's brilliant is because after bishop takes d1, rook takes d1, knight to e4. Okay, so knight to e4 is the top engine, sorry. But now we have knight to b7. Check. King to g7 is a great move, apparently. And this is, okay, so this is a miss. So this is not great, right? This is not great. Now it's plus 0.4. Before, it was plus 1.7, if you remember. But now it's a miss, and it's down to plus 0.4.
This is the worst.
Okay. Black does not want to take this, obviously. If they take this, you have a passed pawn. Not good. You don't want that. So now we've got this. And bishop to c5. Now h3. The king is making a little area for him to breathe. Next, maybe you want to move the rook so that you can, in the event that the king gets attacked, he can easily move out of the right way, right? Bishop to e7. Rook to c3. We have a little back and forth. We take en passant again. We got this. And the white king eventually makes his way over here. We've got check. And looks like we have this move, which is a very nice move here by white, which is basically, now you are guaranteed to have an attacker of the black pawns. And after this move, king to e2, we have h3, which is a good move by black, gotta say. Now we have king to f1, bishop to c5, pinning the pawn to the rook. The rook can move here, though. And this brilliant move by black, which is very nice, sacrificing in order to make a queen. We have this move. And after bishop to e1, rook to c4 is the key winning move. And after king to king to e3, which is what black plays. You have the move b5, and you're never going to stop that pawn. The king is always there to defend h1, and after queen promotes king to f3, you just bring the rook back. You can always go to b2, and you're going to either make a pawn just now, or the bishop sacrifices itself and you still have a pawn. You can stop the pawn there on g2, and black resigns after this move. This was a very tremendously good game here by Anish, putting him at a score at this point, 2 out of 3 in the running for the top of the bracket, and a very nice win for him. Let's move on to the next game now, between two people you might have heard of before. All right, ladies and gentlemen, no tournament recap could be complete without covering Fabiano Caruana. You know him, you love him. Here we go. This is Fabi's round number 3 game, I believe. 2.5 out of 4 at the time. So far, he's in second place overall in the tournament. And in this game, he is playing Alireza Firouzja, we just saw in the last game. Here we go. Let's see how he does. We have knight to f3, d5, and c4. c6, d4, knight to f6. e3, bishop to f5, knight to c3, e6. Takes. The rook gets opened up. Now we have bishop to d2, bishop to e6, queen to b3, attacking the pawn, which is a very... this queen to b3 move is a very common move in the London system especially, which is basically you leave this area for the queen to get out, attack here, and you still have that pyramid to make for your pawns, right? You have the pawns like this, and then the bishop goes out there. It's very common in the London system to have that kind of attacking idea for b7. Queen to c8 is what Alireza picks here. And now we have long castles, d takes c4, bishop takes. The bishop goes back. Now we are trying to make a blockade here and attack the queen even more. So we have king to b1, which is an interesting move here, just kind of moving the king out of danger. If there are any possible danger here, the king will be out, it will be unthreatened. Knight to a6, rook to c1. Now we have a4, queen back to d1, and here is it. And here is a good move that Fabi plays, which is the move b3. Queen to d7. f4 now, so he's going on his own attack here. Rook to b8. g4. Notice here, the idea when you castle on certain sides, you always kind of try and launch pawns on the other side of the board. That way you're not really opening your king up too much, but you're also trying to attack the opponent. You have your bishops here. If you ever open up these pawns here, the bishop opens up. You have nice, ideas with attacks. You can bring the rook, try some stuff on this side. Very, very, common idea for players of this caliber of this strength. Now we have c5 and g5. The knight's got to move here. Doesn't pick a very good spot, and but not only so black plays kind of a mistake here, but white plays a mistake here as well. He plays a miss, and the move is bishop to e1. So instead of this, he should have taken on c5. And after this, we would have had knight. The best move would be knight takes c5, and then bishop to e1. Okay. At this point, it would be plus 1.2. Instead of that, we have bishop to e1, and it's now plus 0.4. Now we have c4, which is a good move by black. You don't want to take with the pawn, obviously, because then you're going to be opening up your king to a whole host of trouble. You don't want that. So you have king to a1, castles, and now knight to e4. Takes, pawn takes. Okay. And we have queen to d5, bishop to d2. And now we are creating this battery here with the rook, so you've got to be very careful. White has the rook here. He's got the bishop. He's got the queen here. He's got this. He's got this. He's got a lot of defense here. He's got a lot of stuff waiting for black in the case that black attacks him. Bishop to f3. We have queen to d7, which is not a very good move, and now it's plus 0.5. Rook takes, and now rook to c1. We have a trade. The knight comes in. Queen moves to d2, and queen is attacked. Technically, it's attacking this with the knight and whatever. We've got this now. All right, so white is up a pawn, but now what? It's plus 0.9, so white is winning, for sure. So white definitely has an advantage here, but now how do you convert the position with minor pieces, queens on the board, both sides having a queen? What do you do? Well, first we play knight to b1. First of all, you don't want to make the mistake, but now we have king to a2, which now the evaluation goes huge, right? Now it's plus 2.4, almost plus 2.5. King to a2. Now bishop to b7, and queen to e2. Now white is up 2 pawns. Now what do? You got this here, defending in the case of this. You've also got this. You've got this. You've got this. But what do? Well, after the move e5, you take with the f pawn. Black takes back. Now we have this move. And this move. And this move. Now I've got to be careful. Now white has a pass pawn, and they have plenty of protection for it. Now this is bad. This is really bad. This is you could say this is definitely lost for black. Plus 4. It's not good. It's not even not good. It's just bad. It's just 100% bad for black. You've got the pass pawn, you've got it defended, you got bishops there, you can bring the knight, you have the queen obviously right there. It's not good. And here, this is where black resigns. And the reason for this is after bishop takes d2, you play queen to h4 check here. And then after knight to h5, which is pretty much the only move, you can make a queen, and it's completely over. White is just up a queen. So that was the final game. I hope you guys enjoyed these games. These were very fun to watch myself. I got to watch them and then to go over with you guys. So I hope you all enjoyed these games. Make sure to drop a comment. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed, and make sure to comment down below who you think will win. If you made it this far in the video, let me know who you think is favored to win the entire tournament. So far, there are some favorites, but let me know your top picks. And I'll see you all for the next video. Thank you ever so much for watching. Take care. Check out the description for links and everything, the website, all the stuff, all the good stuff. I'll see you all for the next video. Thank you for watching.